Hi everyone, I'm back again. Okay, I'm back. I said connection not available. I did a live already, but that was not the main one. That was just a reminder for myself. Today's Facebook Live, today's live feed is about a story, another story that I read and I told my children last night. And it really hit home. And they really understood it, both 3.5-year-old and a 7-year-old. They both loved it. They gave the story 2 thumbs up. And it's a story about two brothers that love each other. One's a big brother and one's a small brother. And the big brother and the small brother, they're both very loving. They both take care of each other, and the eldest one takes care of the younger one mostly. However, they're very poor, and they would play outside of their broken house with wrapped up newspapers and make it into a ball and throw it to each other, and they would catch it. But when it would rain, the paper would just turn into mush. And when they go into the house, the roof would be leaking. Now, the mum and dad were constantly working, trying to make ends meet. So they had to take care of each other. They both wanted to be rich and high flyers like the big rich people in the city, but they didn't know how. But what they really wanted was to spend time with their parents, with each other, in loving moments, in caring moments. And that's what they truly wanted. But they were unable to achieve that. And what happened was one day they were playing outside with a wrapped up newspaper again. They found some newspaper that was blowing past. They wrapped it up, they started playing, throwing it at each other. And a big fancy car came driving past. And out stepped a gentleman wearing white suit, and he was rich. And it actually wasn't even a car, it was a chariot. It was in those days, it was a chariot. And the boy decided to run over because he had enough. He had enough of being poor, and he wanted to find out, how did this person become rich? So he ran full speed, and the gentleman he saw the boy, and he got kind of frightened, thinking that he's going to steal some money. And the eldest boy said, no, I'm not here to hurt you, or saying, all I want to know is, how did you become so rich? We live in the house over there, and me and my brother, we play ball constantly with newspaper. How did you become rich? And the gentleman smiled at the young boy and said, son, let me tell you a secret. And by this time, the other boy, the youngest brother, had come as well. And the rich man knelt down and said, son, let me tell you the one secret that changed my entire life. This one secret, if you take it on board, it will change your entire life. Are you listening? And the two brothers said, yeah, we're listening. We're not going to miss this one. And the gentleman said, the secret that changed my world and could change your world is starting something that's worthwhile and never, ever giving up. Now, the oldest brother, he didn't understand, and neither did the young one. The young one was absolutely confused. The oldest brother, he said, what does that mean? And the gentleman said it again. Start something that's worthwhile, worthy, and never give up. If something is worthy, worth doing, just do it. Don't wait until you are perfect, because perfection will only come once you start and do something poorly, but start implementing and changing fast to becoming better. And never give up, because constantly change and improve. Now the eldest brother thought, I get it. But the youngest brother didn't. And so that whole day, the eldest brother spent explaining to the younger brother this concept. So finally, the two brothers decided to go out, get jobs. Whilst they had the jobs, they were adding so much value to people's lives and helping people with excellent customer service that they also started to do extra work on the side. They started to fix things for people. They had learnt the trade of fixing broken pipes and fixing bikes and that kind of stuff. And they decided what we'll do is we'll open up our own bike shop. And they opened up their own bike shop, hoping that that would be their call to fortune. Now, they were creating custom-made bikes, which was very time-consuming. And they thought all was lost when their business was about to go bankrupt. And they wanted to give up. They got to the point where both brothers were thinking, this is too much for us young children, young boys. They weren't children anymore, they were young men. And then the eldest brother said, wait, remember what the rich man said. If it's worth doing, do it. But keep improving and keep doing it. And also at that exact moment, the eldest brother remembered a time when his father had found a piece of paper and was making it hover and glide. And that's when the bigger brother had an amazing idea, and he told it to the younger brother, and off they went, creating, fixing, creating, almost reaching bankruptcy, creating something new that the world hadn't seen, but had known, something that people had wished that they had, but nobody could figure it out. They pulled something out, and they were about to test this out. They went to a high point and started launching themselves off it and crashing down. Not too high, they were getting hurt. And everyone's thinking, these guys, these brothers, they're so wrong. What's wrong with them? And they used to laugh at them, say, you guys are so wrong. You guys are the wrong brothers. But then all of a sudden, the thing that they were making flew for 12 seconds. 12 seconds. A device made of wood with an engine in it flew. And everyone was amazed. And they said, wow, brothers, two brothers, you guys are the right brothers. And they improved it, and then they made that contraption fly for 2 hours. And it was the creation and the first introduction of an aeroplane. And now the Wright brothers, they went back in their riches, in their limousines, and their fancy, they didn't have cars at the time, but they had the fancy chariots. And they went back to the parents' house and said, Mum, Dad, you've grown old. It's time for us to take care of you. And they whisked them off to a huge mansion in a big acre field. And they lived there with their parents and their wives and their children, happily, never having to work again because they never gave up. So the moral of this story is anything that's worth doing is worth doing initially poorly, but it's worth starting it. And once you start, implement the constant and never-ending improvement attitude and keep improving, because if it's worthy, that journey, just like the Wright brothers, they started off in a bike shop and they ended up planes, creating the plane. You don't know where the journey is going to take you. But the journey, the hero's journey, the actual journey is the growth, the achievement. Because once you achieve the end goal, you create another goal. And so if it's worth doing, then do it. Don't let the two things that hold people back is the lack of knowledge, which in this day and age, that's no excuse, because anyone can Google it or go to YouTube and anyone can figure anything out. But the other thing is the lack of persistence. And the persistence means what that gentleman, the rich gentleman, was saying. keep doing it. And I'm going to end there. Got a lot of work to do. Have a fantastic day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.